Good morning, everybody. Happy, what day? I don't even know. Tuesday. Here I am not remembering the days as always. But we just got out of the woods. It was definitely not an easy weekend in the forest. In Wyoming in December, kind of cold, not kind of, very cold. Wind chill was very intense, and the wind was intense, and I'm all bundled up, and I'm having hot tea this morning because my body needs it. It's important to listen to those things. When you get stuck in routine, you can't get stuck in routine. We just have to listen all the time. So like, my infusion needs to be hot today because Mac and I came out with, you know, a little sore throat and a little bit of some drainage happening from the wind and the cold, and it's just what happens. Am I going to run out and get a specific test? No. I am, however, canceling a couple of clients coming for herbs, and then my seamstress was going to come to, she's making me some she's making me some paper towels out of cloth. I'm ridiculously excited. One of my friends had her make them for her, and now I'm getting a set. So anyway, I did cancel these things because it's not very nice to put our sickness on other people and their children and their husbands, even though mine and myself are sick this morning. So I didn't really start to feel it because I don't usually feel the things like my hubby does. Maybe it's a part of his Aries nature, I don't know, but I tend to, well, I take herbs all the time, right? So my immune system is very supported, but that doesn't mean that I don't have metabolic waste to react in the form of sickness. So I'm making myself rosehip, raspberry, and fireweed leaf tea this morning that I'm going to drink this morning, taking an absurd amount of my elderberry elixir, and I have a bunch of Osha tea that I'm going to drink throughout the day as well. So, you know, last night sucked. I didn't sleep very well. I didn't cover my neck in the woods, which I usually do, but I was in like 85 layers and the forest kicked my ass. The wind really gets to me because I have frostbite damage in my fingers and my toes, and no amount of layers can get those pieces of my body protected from the wind. So it definitely kicked my butt, and I didn't wear a neck guard like I usually do. So who knows, usually when people get sick around me and I've got my neck covered, it's all fine. So I'm all cozy today, and I'm wearing a grubby sweatshirt, and I'm wearing sweats all day because that is what I need. But back to this tea, and what I did to kind of self-care myself. This tea, rose hips, absurdly high in vitamin C. So more vitamin C than an orange by itself, even with the peel, even with the pith, the white stuff that comes off of the peel. That is actually the highest in vitamin C in an orange, and then of course next is the peel. The inside fruit is not a lot of vitamin C, but that's generally what people eat. Rose hips have huge amounts of vitamin C. Very, again, biologically available from the forest. From the forest makes them even more potent and glorious. So lots of vitamin C, lots of antioxidants from the rose hips, and then like a soothing, soft, nourishing, my cats are going bananas. They're very happy we're home, but lots of like soft, the softness of a rose petal. You're giving that to your cells when you're taking and drinking rose hip tea. Even rose petals themselves, but I like to work with the rose hip because it is the full fruition of the entire summer's growth. The rose petals are great, but they are really, really more, to me, more spirit medicine, more like adorning the body medicine. So when we get into the rose hip, we're actually working with the full fruition of the summer season with the fruit, and you're getting every piece of the rose, including that really tough bark. Roses are an amazingly hard wood. They are very difficult to start from seed. They are very difficult to take cuttings and get them to root. I've tried over and over again, and it's just a difficult plant because it is so tough and strong. So getting the fruit, I feel, is the most important piece of the rose for medicine. And I make an amazing oxymel. I also do a really great tincture. I do a 4-part plant material to 1 part menstruum, and that gets it to be a very strong, it's almost syrup-like, and I feel that the alcohol doesn't break down the more delicate constituents like vitamin C. I feel that we get a lot more out of the plant as a tincture that way, because man, when I press that, it's like I can feel the rose energy coming through. But again, with the rose hip is really my favorite part of the rose medicine for wellness and for taking care of our bodies and our cells. Sorry, I know I'm gross right now, but another thing that I have put in my tea today is fireweed, and that is again for vitamin C. Kitty tail. Vitamin C and quercetin, lots of other antioxidants, lots of other phytochemicals, but these two are very nourishing to our cells. We know we need vitamin C for an optimally functioning immune system, to support our cells to be vital and well. And quercetin is highly anti-inflammatory. It is one of the most potent, maybe the most potent antioxidants in the phytochemical spectrum of antioxidants. So you're getting the oxidative stress. So like oxidative stress from the environment, oxidative stress from like crappy food if you're eating that, oxidative stress like because of the wind, our wall tent was like full of smoke the entire weekend. Especially when we would open the stove to then put more wood in, we would get a billow of smoke. So I feel like a lot of that firewood smoke coming from a wall tent stove that is, I mean, they're aluminum, so what are you getting out of that also? But I feel like a lot of this metabolic waste that is happening in the form of a sore throat and a stuffy nose and a headache is coming from a lot of this oxidative stress. So again, the fireweed is really nourishing to the cells to relieve via anti-inflammatory compound called quercetin that fireweed is very, very highly concentrated with. We are fighting the oxidative stress coming off of that stove, and a lot of like this little, it's only been like 24 hours and I'm feeling way better than I did yesterday, but a lot of it came through the shoulders up here, and like I was thinking about our life, my husband and mine, and he felt it in his shoulders too, like how much we use our shoulders and how much work goes into the farm via our upper body strength. How much are we holding throughout the summer season when we have to be completely 100% present, and then it coming out of here and then manifesting as a sore throat and a stuffy nose and a drainy nose. So again, we're working with this metabolic stress that has happened throughout the whole summer, and then when we finally get some chill, alone time, away time, which is, we love this life, but like it's still important to get away, isn't it? To just kind of zen and chill out. Then we put a lot of oxidative stress on our bodies more from external causes like campfire smoke, stove smoke really inside of the wall tent that we had going all night, a lot of wind and a lot of cold and a lot of fluctuating temperatures with body as well. So that's my little idea. And I did raspberry leaf because I'm really just working really intimately with raspberry leaf. So that's more for other purposes. But this hot tea, again, the reason I'm going hot is to get that body temperature, internal body temperature to rise. So last night I took a super hot bath before I went to bed. My hair has been wrapped up on top of my head all night. That is something I do, but also to get the wet off of my neck, mostly from like sweating and stuff. But then also I wanted to cultivate as much internal heat as I possibly could to then, because fevers go to the extreme for any sort of infection that may be present with this metabolic waste situation. Things, bodily fluids out of my nose have been very clear, so that's awesome, meaning there usually is not an infection when we're not getting like funky flavors of bodily fluids. So that was really awesome to see this morning that it was mostly clear. But the bath in the nighttime to get this internal fire, stoking that internal fire, to really sweat anything out, right? As we sweat, we are releasing we're detoxing our entire bodies. So I really believe in a sweat. And then all night long, I slept in like long sleeves, and I just was wrapped up tight in like 3 blankets just to get that internal fire continuing. And I was up a lot all night because I was sweating and because my throat was sore and I was draining and all of the things. But I woke up this morning, like, had a headache for sure, took some pedicularis, chilled it out, and then now I'm making my tea. So it's this whole, like, how do we take care of ourselves from a holistic spectrum where we are acknowledging the fact that lots of sicknesses are metabolic waste, toxin, coming into the system. And then of course there are microorganisms that cause infection, etc. And so what are we doing to nourish this internal fire, to nourish our entire bodies? And then what are we bringing in? What are we nourishing ourselves with? So that's my little hi, I'm sick from the woods, from the forest spiel in the winter. And I love you guys, and thank you so much for being here and listening to me talk about all the things that I talk about. It's really an honor to be incarnated with you all right now in this journey, and I'll talk soon.